You're listening to the Valley Labor Report with David Story and Jacob Morrison.
Long-haired preachers come out every night. I try to tell you what's wrong and what's right. But when asked about something to eat, they will answer in voices so sweet. You will eat by and by in that glorious land in the sky.
Welcome back to the Valley Labor Report. My name is Jacob Morrison, here with my co-host David Story. We talked about some good news in the last segment, and we've got some more good news. David?
Yeah, we're just kind of throwing this thing together. We were sitting here trying to figure out what we're going to talk about. Jacob's over here looking at me like, don't say that, man. Don't say that. Yeah, we were sitting over here going, well, we got one more segment, and we're out of stuff to talk about, and we would like to leave y'all on a good note, something positive. But so we were just bantering back and forth, and it was nice to see that yesterday my union, the Machinist Union, Local 44 there in Decatur, that builds the launch vehicles, or what a lot of people call rockets, won a big contract with the U.S. government. We were competing with SpaceX and Blue Origin and Northrop Grumman. There were several rocket builders that was in the mix, but we got they kind of split the baby. They done a 60% for us and a 40% for SpaceX split over the next, I think it takes us through 2025 with some possibilities of extending. So, that was a big positive. And a lot of people, I was organizing some nurses a while back, and one of the comments in the group was, well, we don't need a union. We really need some type of advocacy for nurses. We need some form of advocacy to get down to Montgomery and advocate on our behalf. And one of my comments, and you know this very well, is the fact that, look, a lot of what the union brings to the table is advocacy. We've got, lobbyists. I'm a lobbyist in the state for our union. We've got lobbyists that go to these Montgomery and go to D.C. and advocate not only on behalf of the members, but on behalf of the members' business, the people that we work for. The airline industry right now, the union, Delta just come out yesterday talking about how great the Machinist Union is, because they're going up there and advocating on their behalf, and Delta's not even, they have been attacking us right and left, and said a year ago, and you probably remember the Facebook post, said that a gaming system was that was a better choice of how to spend your money than to pay union dues. Well, now all of a sudden they're recognizing that, hey, man, maybe these union dues aren't so bad, because they're helping pay for these advocates that are helping the company, not just the members, but the company.
Yeah, and we talked about this with Michael Clem, Brother Michael Clem, when he came on, about just how silly it is to believe that unions are bad for business, or unions are going to destroy businesses, because we're not going to have a job if every time you unionized a workplace, the place went under, then folks wouldn't join unions, or folks would want to change their unions because something wouldn't be right. You wouldn't have a job. It wouldn't make sense.
But there's a large portion of those dues that go to help pay for not just the training, but the advocacy as well. And they help. I can tell you, the last time I went to D.C., I went into the plant manager's office and said, give me my talking points. What have y'all got that we really need? Because, hey, I'm looking to keep our members employed. I'm not trying to run the business out of business.
Yeah. Yeah, and you shared it on Local 44's Facebook page, and I got a kick out of it, so I want to share what you said. You had a good joke. The CNBC article that he shared had SpaceX, had their name first, and he said, we don't know why SpaceX was listed first. Maybe it was fake news, because we won a 60% share of the upcoming contracts. So that's great news for our members, and better news for those that enjoy space exploration, because it means that at least 60% of those launches are going to to be successful. You never know with SpaceX.
You never know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point. We've got 100% success rate.
Right.
Over.
What is SpaceX's success rate?
I don't
know.
Honestly, I don't know. No, they've got I'm not going to bash them too bad. They've got it. Here lately, they've got a decent success rate, honestly.
Yeah.
But, the thing that I get a chuckle out of is the fact that all the fanboys for SpaceX think that they're private industry and and Elon is financing all of this. And it's not anyway. Our tax dollars is going to him, and it's like, man, these people are such idiots. I mean, he's gotten billions in subsidies from the government. He just lies about it.
I mean, no joke. He got like $4.9 billion from the government for SpaceX.
Like when it was private industry.
Yeah. Either it was about to go bankrupt or for startup funds. I can't remember why he got $4.9 billion.
Well, a lot of times they finance just like they have with the COVID vaccine. They finance some investment because it's. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't get anything done in this country. So the fact of the matter is, most of your larger private companies that are doing research are funded by the government.
Which, I think that the government should have a hand in funding research because obviously
it's for our benefit.
Yeah, it's for our benefit. Obviously, these private companies, they're not going to be able to justify putting in research that may or may not pan out by the market logic, right? Because if you have to justify everything with a return on investment, you're not going to be able to make these really big discoveries that you can when you're less beholden to the profit motive or whatever. So I think that there's a very important role for government funding to play, but these folks they won't acknowledge that, or they like to make it out like they're the ones taking all the risk when really it's us that's taking the risk. And I think that his parents are wealthy from mineral mines from apartheid South Africa or something.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, this guy is just multiple levels of problematic and not self-made.
Yeah. Here's the thing is we try not to bash our competition too much because we're all trying our best.
Yeah, well, I'm not in competition with him. Elon Musk sucks. Yeah,
we're all trying. He's trying to get rich.
Union busting.
Yeah, he is union busting. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Not only at SpaceX but at Tesla, But I mean that's typical capitalists. They don't want to share their profit.
No, they want you to do all the work, and this is why folks think this is a thing about socialism, but no, it's about big multinational CEOs. They want you to do all the work. They want to take the profits for themselves and share as little of it as possible with you. And that is that's where you get the real greediness, the real selfishness, and it's not It's not what you hear, folks. It's a lot of times it's these big capitalist folks at the top that's wanting to try to take things that they didn't work for. Folks, this has been the Valley Labor Report, and we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your time. If you want to see what we're up to throughout the week and get our snide quips about the news of the day, then you should follow us on social media. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/Valley Labor Report. We're on Twitter at Labor Reporters. I'm on Twitter at JacobM_AL. David is on Twitter at Radical Unionist. That's spelled RADICL Unionist. If you missed part of the show and want to go back and watch it later, search YouTube for The Valley Labor Report and subscribe to our channel. You can go back and watch the full show there, and we also clip segments throughout the week. And we also upload the program on more than 11 different podcasting apps. So you can see if we're on your listening platform of choice. You can go to thevalleylaborreport.transistor.fm/subscribe. And if you appreciate our work and want to help us stay on the air, then consider throwing us a couple dollars a month on patreon.com/The Valley Labor Report.